Today, we are going to make a classic chicken satay with peanut sauce. I grew up in the kitchens of my family's Thai restaurants, and this is one of the very first dishes I made when I was old enough to cook. Satay is a great party appetizer or a simple starter. It's easy and fun to make. Hey team, I'm Jet Tila, and welcome to Ready Jet Cook, where I teach you how to make my favorite Asian dishes from pantry to plate. But before we get into it, take a second to subscribe to the Food Network YouTube channel so you can see all of my favorite recipes. Let's get started. We have to start by soaking skewers. We're using bamboo skewers. These are probably like 6 to 8 inches, and you absolutely want to soak these so they don't burn on the grill. So the bamboo skewers will hydrate within like 20 minutes, but because they're bamboo and they're dense, you can actually do this the day before. It's not gonna hurt the skewer at all. So bamboo skewers are soaking. It's time to make marinade, and I'm gonna need some coconut milk from the pantry. So like a lot of my recipes, although I'm teaching you chicken satay, I'm actually teaching you a dry rub, a marinade, the satay, and a peanut sauce. So I want to break it down into a few different parts. So this is my go-to chicken satay marinade, but before I add the coconut milk, it's actually a dry rub, so check it out. I've got curry powder, garlic powder, sugar, salt, and pepper. If you look at this spice blend by itself, I've taught you a really great Thai dry rub. So that can get put together. This is actually a go-to spice blend that just lives in my pantry when I need to make a grilled meat item. One of the foundational items of Thai cuisine is coconut milk. And I'm gonna simplify it for you, right? Coconuts are so many things in Thai cooking. They are sugar, in palm sugar. They're coconut juice in young green coconuts. But just remember, coconut milk comes from mature coconuts. When the coconuts actually get brown on the outsides, the coconut water in the inside gets kind of tannic, but the fats in the coconut mature, and that's how we extract this beautiful stuff. This is really kind of liquid gold. I grabbed 2 cans of coconut milk because I'm gonna need the rest of it to make the peanut sauce. So I'm gonna leave this here, but that's what I need to make the marinade. So I'm stirring in this dry spices into that coconut cream. And as you know, fat is flavor and fat distributes flavor. So when the chicken marries into this, it's gonna coat and it's gonna get super delicious. Speaking of chicken, I am using chicken breasts today. There's no reason why you shouldn't be using chicken thighs. In fact, I encourage it. I'm gonna take the chicken breast and I'm gonna cut it with the grain into those bite-sized pieces, like 1.5 inch wide. And I've got my blocks, and I'm cutting against the grain into thin tiles. And those are gonna be threaded really nicely onto the skewers. They're gonna absorb the marinade really easily. But remember, be it stir fry or satay, I'm looking for nice thin tiles, lots and lots of surface area. And I'm gonna marinate this for 4 hours to overnight. You almost can't over marinate. In restaurants, to get ahead, we actually will make the satays. We'll thread the chicken on raw, and then we'll freeze the actual satays before we cook them, and we can sandbag them that way. The chicken's gonna marinate. I'm gonna clean up, wash my hands, and I'm gonna show you how to make peanut sauce. All right, so to get started, I'm gonna heat a saucepan to medium, put a little bit of neutral oil in the saucepan, because anytime you're using curry paste, you have to fry that curry paste. And sometimes it's in the coconut fat. This time we're starting with oil. So curry paste, what's in it? A lot of things. The very simple explanation is Thai curries are made with fresh herbs. Most other curries, like Indian curry, are made with spices. So what's in here? Lemongrass, garlic, shallots, Thai lime leaves, basically very aromatic herbs. To really expose the flavor of herbs, you need to fry them up. That's it, it's caramelization. Now coconut milk. I'm gonna get a little technical here. Good coconut milk has about 13 to 19% coconut fat in it. So 2 things. 1, don't buy light. 2, don't shake the can of coconut milk. Although this can is lying to you and says shake the can, a pro does not shake the can, because watch, that top layer is coconut cream. And I want that coconut cream to continue to caramelize that curry paste. These are those little tips and tricks that really amount to huge flavor bombs. Now that I'm caramelizing in the coconut oil, I can start smelling that all those amazing herbs are frying. I can slow down that caramelization now by adding the rest of the coconut milk. So you can actually see that the tail of the coconut milk is the water that it took to extract the coconut fat. So next is peanut butter. And I know you're wondering, do you use the nouveau peanut butter with the oil separator? Do you use the old school peanut butter we ate as kids? I like the old school stuff. It's creamier, it's got a little more sugar in it, and I think it's just a flavor profile that we're all used to. And between crunchy and smooth, I'm gonna leave that up to you. I'm gonna let you fight that out in your own house. I don't care, I like the crunchy personally, because I want little bits of peanuts in my peanut sauce. As you can see, the peanut butter actually starts out pretty solid. Because when you grind up peanuts, you get a lot of those oils. There's gonna be a point when this peanut butter warms up and melts right into the coconut milk, and you start to see the transformation from kind of peanut butter and coconut milk into one kind of homogenized, beautiful peanut sauce. So that's all I'm waiting for here. Obviously, my grandmother did not have the modern luxuries of prepared peanut butter. The way she did it was to take a bunch of roasted peanuts in a mortar, and she stone mortared them until they became peanut butter and threw them in. So I ain't got time for that. I'm just gonna be real, and I'm gonna use prepared peanut butter. There it is, it's coming to a simmer. The peanut butter's just about to melt into the coconut milk. Let's start to season. Now, this is a dip for sauté, so I want something that's sweet, salty, and a little bit sour. And for the salty, we're gonna use that fish sauce. And I know I've covered fish sauce in a lot of my other videos, but it's basically just anchovies, salt, and water. Think about it as soy sauce made from anchovies. That's all fish sauce is, so it has an incredible flavor. When you're buying fish sauce, make sure you're buying the fish sauce that matches the country that you're cooking. Number two, really good fish sauce should be amber and translucent, right? That bottle of fish sauce that's been in your fridge for a year, that's opaque and looks like soy sauce, it's time to pitch it out and start over. It's okay. I'm giving you permission to do that. So there you go. Once it becomes a beautiful homogenized sauce, once it coats the back of a spoon, that's delicious. That means it will coat sauté perfectly. Peanut sauce is done. It's time to start setting up for our sautés. So the chicken has marinated. It looks gorgeous here, by the way. So what I like to do is kind of visualize how much protein to actual skewer. So I actually hold them where I want the protein to stop. And I'm very just simply going to flatten them out. Find the surface area, the thin flat piece, and I'm just gonna weave right into that point until I hit that point in my thumb where I want that skewer to stop. Another thing I like to do is I actually make lamb chops in the style of sauté. So the marinade, the peanut sauce. So it's a really versatile recipe. I'm really kind of teaching you 3 or 4 different recipes in one. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. I think that looks like a good size for an appetizer. And of course, I'm not mad at chicken thigh. I think the thigh is gonna give you a lot more of a moist bite. I like a little bit of fat on the protein. Personally, if you're using pork, pork loin, pork shoulder is the way to go. If you're using beef, I would probably go to the steak cuts. And if you're plant-based, very firm tofu and water would make phenomenal sautés. And the only adjustment to the recipe for plant-based, in the peanut sauce, instead of using fish sauce, just switch over to either a soy sauce or an amino acid sauce, and you basically have a plant-based sauté. There you go. So I am looking at both sides, making sure I don't have any bamboo poking through. That looks good to me. All right, it's time to cook. Sautés are skewered. Time for the don't burn the bamboo skewer hack. You're gonna need 2 things for clean cooking sauté. Number 1 is a piece of foil. I am obviously using a grill pan, but the same hack works for an outdoor charcoal grill. You want the foil the width of your grill grate. In this case, I don't want it that wide. And I need it the height of at least that bare part of the skewer. And I'm just gonna apply it down on the grill, okay? Second part of this perfect sauté on the grill is oiling the actual grill. And because again, I have a grill pan, I could use a little paper towel and some oil. On a outdoor grill, you could use a tong and a little bit of a paper towel, or what I call the sacrificial grilling seasoned towel. So either way works. That also has told me that the grill is hot because I see the oil just smoking lightly. And I'm just gonna lay the sautés on there. with that little bit of foil protection. And that way I'm not picking up pieces of satay that have burnt skewers. And because these are so thin, be it on a grill pan or a charcoal grill, medium heat, meaning if I put my hand at the height of the meat, I should be able to hold it there for about 5 or 6 seconds before I go, whoa, that's a little hot. So resist the urge to peek and flip this thing over 20,000 times, all right? You want to establish a really beautiful grill mark, at least on one side. And the way to know is I'm always looking up the side of the protein. But until I start seeing at least 1 or 2 millimeters of char on the side, I'm not gonna touch the satay. Satay, like so many Thai dishes you think are Thai, are kind of fusion dishes. Satays come with the spice routes, and they actually originate from Middle Eastern kebabs. I do see some cook above the sides here. I know I can start messing with it, and to get that beautiful grill mark, don't just go and lift, give it a little wiggle, and once you feel it give, now it's time to turn it over. Look at that, perfect. So same thing, I'm gonna kind of push back and forth. Once it releases, I'll turn it over. Perfect satay. So remember, these chicken pieces are so thin, they're gonna cook up really quickly. So about 2 minutes on each side is perfect. Any longer, and it's gonna dry out. There's only one presentation side a chef worries about. So if I nailed the grill mark on the top side, I'm more worried about the cook through when it's on the other side. I'm very happy with the satay. I know they are cooked through, but still moist. I have a beautiful grill mark on them. I'm going to go ahead and plate these and allow them to rest for a few minutes before I serve them. All right, so peanut sauce. Peanut sauce down. Let's pretty up this plate a little bit. Very simple garnish. I'm just gonna use a little bit of scallion. And just a little bit in the sauce as well. Typically in Thailand, it's served with a little bit of a vinegar cucumber salad, and that's it. I mean, what a beautiful set. I need to celebrate by checking my work here. There's only one way to know if I've done my job correctly. Cheers. That savoriness of the chicken kind of enrobed in all the spices. And then you have that sweet and creamy peanut sauce that really comes over the top. There it is, chicken satay and peanut sauce. You've learned the marinade, you've learned how to make this delicious sauce. It's peanut sauce today, and it could be peanut dressing tomorrow, it could be peanut noodles the day after. Such a simple and delicious dish. Thanks so much for hanging out. Make sure to subscribe to Food Network's YouTube channel, and we'll see you next time on Ready, Jet, Cook.